President Muhammadu Buhari in Nigeria is in trouble. We've been talking about this for a while now, about Nigeria trying to limit withdrawals of cash in the system, the black markets with the naira and the US dollar, the exchange rates blowing up between Bitcoin, the dollar, and the naira. We talked about the e-naira having almost no adoption, 0.5% adoption compared to 30-40% plus for Bitcoin in the country, especially among young people. No one wants a CBDC. No one wants a central bank digital currency. And here they are trying to, again, force you with, whether it's, I think it was like $44 a day. They kept putting withdrawal limits on and saying how much you could get out of the bank, how much you couldn't, people running to Bitcoin. And here again, they have, it was announced that April 10th, they're going to continue to outlaw high-value notes as the nation struggles with a shortage of new currency. So we have just massive problems there. And you can see, I had a video, which I can't find now on Twitter, but citizens protesting at the central bank, to kind of riots. And then I found a bunch of other articles actually as well. The Guardian has a bunch of them. Africa News, a bunch of them. Riots erupt in Nigeria as the bank's policy leads to a scarcity of cash. And again, the cash is all confidence, right? There's nothing backing it. So there's really not a reason that you should be needing the cash or wanting the cash, because you should be holding hard assets, things that actually have value. This is why Bitcoin is exploding there. Gold and silver, obviously. This is why Bitcoin is exploding, because people need to transact with each other. They need to have a store for the time and energy they spent. When you hold it, and when these fiat currencies that are constantly devalued and printed into oblivion, you lose all your time and energy. It's basically the government coming in and wiping all the work you made. You have something saved up in this container, and then the government is coming in and stealing all of it and saying, you know what, you just went to work, all that time and energy you spent away from family and friends, etc., that was just completely a waste. You might as well have not done it, because we just stole everything from you. That's basically what happened. And just acting like it didn't exist, because it doesn't, because they stole it from you. They stole the government steal the currency, the fiat currency, from their citizens. That's what they're doing, counterfeiting. When they're printing new currency, they're stealing a fraction of every fiat currency unit in existence. That's all they're doing. And this is what's happening here. Now they're trying to clamp down. If this sounds a little similar to what's going on in the West, then you would be right. As central banks in the West are also trying to clamp down on high dollar notes. And we've seen a lot of those go out of circulation. People starting to slowly, Gresham's law, good money or bad money drives out good, things like that, right? We've seen this all over the place. And it's starting to come to head in some of these other countries like Brazil and Argentina, having massive problems trying to now create a new currency together. I believe it's Argentina, one of the candidates for president there, is talking, looks like he's a huge Bitcoiner, saying central banks are the evil of the world. They're the complete scam. Some people are starting to get it. People are starting to understand what's actually happening and in the process by which governments steal all of their currency. There's a great movie that I watched this weekend with our children called Sea Beasts. I believe it's a Netflix movie. And the whole premise, I'm not trying not to give away the movie, because it's actually a great movie and you should watch it, about sea monsters and stuff like that. I believe it was set in the 1600s. And it's about, in essence, the governments creating stories, creating lies for the people to uphold their empire and build their empire for them, for the kings and queens, and to just perpetuate these lies and write these lies. He who has the gold makes rules, and he who wins the wars writes the history, right? All these cliches, all these analogies, but it's true. And they create these lies. The government creates all these lies to polarize the nation, to keep them divided, to keep them distracted, bread and circus, a Roman Colosseum. And they create these stories, these narratives, JFK and this and that. They create all this stuff, right? If you haven't noticed, weapons of mass destruction. Oh, Obamacare will be cheaper if we pass it, and we can't, just go on down the line. I mean, it's over and over and over again. I did not have relations with that woman, and there's all these different types of lies that are told. All these cultural lies, these micro lies about relations I had with someone, or the cultural lies, or the JFK, or false flags in war, and creating these stories to get people to follow a narrative, to then back it, create fervor, and say, yeah, we're doing it, let's go. And that's what the Sea Beast movie was about at the end of the day. It was a fascinating movie, and I highly suggest you watch it. And it's great for adults too. It's a really captivating movie. I was actually very captivated by it. The kids really liked it. They got a little bit scared. The little ones got a little bit scared because there's some, not like dark things. It's a computer animated movie, but it's a great movie. And I suggest it to anyone who's interested in to see what's actually going on. And so we have people all around the world. We've seen China start to revolt, the Chinese revolting at their banks, and tanks rolling in to protect the banks. We've seen the citizens now in Nigeria, like I said, Argentina, or Brazil, Sri Lanka storming the capital. This is happening more and more and more. I don't know what else we have to do together as a community, us. To get in front of the normies, to get in front of the people out there who have no idea what's going on. I know there's many of you have told me like, hey, I'm sharing your stuff, I'm getting it out there. And like we said, the algorithm doesn't like truth. The algorithm doesn't like reality, right? The algorithm, big tech, is part of the problem. They're the ones keeping the stories, these narratives playing, so that way truth can't get out, and then the government can keep doing their thing, because big tech's in bed with government, right? It's the same thing right now. So we have to be the truth tellers. We have to get this out. We have to overwhelm the system. We have to overwhelm the algorithms. We have to overwhelm big tech. And we have to overwhelm even the screaming kids and what's going on and the distractions in our life. We have to be present with what we're doing. Boom, let's get in. Let's do our work and then go. Then let's be present with family. Let's be present with the people we love, the people around us. And it's incumbent on us. It's incumbent on us. This community, the people like us, and the communities that the other people are building as well that are similar to us, it's incumbent on us. Silence in the face of evil is evil itself. And this is what we are called to do. This is what truth tellers are called to do. It's called to be the 1%, the 5%, 10% of people, or it's usually not many people, that cause change and actual freedom for humanity. And God puts certain people on the earth to do that, right? And we have to be those people, and we are those people. So please let me know what you are thinking, what you're doing to prepare as well, and just a lot of stuff we talk about, because there's so many things coming that are just out in the open. And they're blatant, and it's easy for to see. I mean, what else do we have to do? How many other things do we have to share, showing the collapse of currencies and showing the collapse of all these different things in the world, these government palaces and government agencies and government systems, and we have to be cognizant of what's happening in order to make change and continue spreading, continue showing all the nails in the coffin, and eventually more and more people start realizing. Because I've seen in my own life, I see people left and right starting to wake up and starting to see the writing on the wall and say, oh my goodness, you were right. I mean, I have it every single week, almost every day now. People are starting to realize, especially over the last 3 years, people are saying, oh my gosh, I used to think you were crazy, and now you were right. Oh my gosh, I think you used to think you were crazy, and I'm starting to believe what you're saying. Oh my gosh, I thought you were crazy for years, and now I start to see what you're saying. So just on and on and on. People start seeing, when you tell truth, the truth shall set you free. Not that we are perfect and we have the absolute truth. We're always trying to find truth, and we are committed to it. So I appreciate you. Please share this out. Please, please, please. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I appreciate you more than you know, and your time, because as we know, finite time, finite energy, or I shouldn't say energy is infinite, but finite time and energy that we have at the end of the day, and because energy is everywhere, but finite Bitcoin, finite time is the only trade we can make, and it's not financial freedom. This is financial advice. This is freedom advice, and I just appreciate you more than you know. And as well, our blog, if you want the written content, just go to the blog. It's 2, 3, 4 minute articles. That way you can read it. If you are somewhere it's quiet, I get a lot of people that are like, hey, I can't listen to your stuff or watch your stuff. But go to the blog, description in here, and go to the blog, subscribe to that, and you can see the written content of a lot of what we do here on the YouTube channel. So anyway, I appreciate you more than you know. Let's have an unbelievable week, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.